in the sunlight, okay? And then on the machine that sells weeklies, 10 trips, you can't do a single ride ticket.
No, those machines should sell any ticket we have.
I went, people were complaining about it, I went and checked. It's like
Actually,
Cold Spring Harbor.
I buy tickets.
It's a full service machine, so.
It's a full service machine, you could not buy a single one-way ticket on it.
There's something wrong with that machine.
I think you can. They ask the question, do you need a return trip, or that's part of the, what time?
I know, I thought it was a little weird, but when I went to see it, it wasn't there.
Must be a problem with the machine itself.
It's the machine
Yeah.
itself.
Where is this?
Is it Cold Spring Harbor? We have two machines, one's for full service and the other's a daily. The dailies are a waste of time and money, in my opinion. I don't know why anybody would have ever ordered them. You know. So, all right, anyway, that was something that came up. The other thing that somebody asked me, which I actually thought was pretty interesting and good idea, because it reminded me of Grand Central, was that a postal drop be created here in Penn for people to post their mail.
Yeah.
So,
Closed.
did they, I didn't know, I haven't been out
Yeah, I
there
think
in a
they
while.
closed them for
So,
security.
Yeah, that's years ago.
Security reasons, those are
There
gone.
used to be a letter drop in the upper level here, and they closed that years ago. They closed that for
Corner
security.
7th and 31st. That's where I drop my mail now.
where do you go?
7th and 31st. As soon as you come out, right on that corner.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
not in the station itself, but right outside. That's the closest one.
Yeah, we used to on Christmas time, we used to have postal guys standing there with big buckets.
Yeah.
Oh, that you just,
I don't know if
All
that's
right, that was just, that's just something else that somebody said to me, because they said, you know, especially with the US Postal Office going away.
And Jerry, you posted a lot about Patchogue. Anything you want to talk about something in Patchogue?
No, same old, nothing,
It might just become in town now. The theater and everything, people are going.
it's two-way, yeah.
Right now, new business, the Hector, Fort Washington. We don't know what's going on. We had spoken to you the day it was going to be taken down, and then we didn't hear anything ever since. So we found out by the press that it was being resolved. That's what we found out.
We're going to be,
Owen is very upset over it. I got people in my office on the Fort Washington line. It was upset that it's still not happening, they say. But it's
No.
happening.
well, we didn't put out information, we're waiting to have confirmation of how quickly we can do it. Basically, what happened there 2 years ago, we had to order a temporary structure so we're doing the same thing, we're emergency procurement, ordering a temporary bridge. It has to get delivered and we have to get a crane to install it. So we're gonna be doing that before the end of October,
We're doing what? Putting it up before the October?
Put it up.
Putting
putting it up. So we're talking to the vendors now, they have to build this thing and deliver it to us inside the state, and then we have to get it put up.
Why is that a state? We're doing New York State?
The vendors that bid on it, they're the ones that.
Well, we're getting a lot of questions about, people are very angry.
I read the media coverage on it, and the blogs are up and on.
Everyone's upset about it. Can you let people know at the station what's going on? Can you guys send something out? This is what's going on, this is what's happening, what's going on. I mean, they feel like that's just been forgotten. Taken down and forgotten. That's how they feel. So I don't know if you can do an email, you can do signs, can you do something to let people know what's on it? Really, I'm getting, a tremendous amount of going on. Follow these things up. Well, Matt, we spoke to Matt, so.
Is he there?
He was.
No.
Matt, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. No, Maureen asked if you were still here.
No, said something.
I sent him.
Okay, Bill, can you take us through the budget? What's proposed as far as it fits? Not just budget, that's fair, because anything that may
Yeah.
apply to us.
I mean, there's fairly few things that in the budget that would apply, and mainly, the main thing that applies to LIRR is probably some additional service, which is East End service, some of the East End service. There's going to be a couple couple of additional trains out there. Um, So, that's pretty minor as far as the budget. The other thing is a fare increase. They're looking for 4% fare increase. It's every 2 years, so they're saying 2%. It's basically 2%, which they're saying is the rate of inflation. Not quite, but but they're closer than they were. The rate of inflation was running about 1%. So what they have done what they've done in the past, and probably will propose this time around, is basically an across the board 4%, which is so everything will go up 4% in terms of the MTA proposal. That's what we do.
We're in the middle doing an op-ed about what we think the railroad and what's not getting, besides second track and third track, even the small things. That keep hearing about subways and buses getting this, getting that, Wi-Fi and everything, countdown clocks, they're gonna new subway cars, right?
Yeah, there's
subway
a
cars.
new order.
We can't get the M9s, they've done new.
Well, they can't get their subway cars either, so it's
But
probably.
he's talking about it. So
Yeah, he's talking about
we're
it.
doing something else, so anyone that has ideas about what, now's the time for us to put it out there. If we think that the railroad, should be getting, we will discuss it with the railroad also before we publish it. Sometimes they have some concerns with also.
We need to increase service. It's not enough service on the main line. I mean, it's just that simple. There's not enough. And the trains are overcrowded. And, I've always maintained this. When I first started commuting, we had way many more trains, evening service trains home. There was a 9:14 I regularly took. Now it's an hour between trains, and they're all packed. There's no such thing as quote-unquote off-peak in terms of the amount of ridership. There's a clock that suggests something, but the ridership certainly doesn't. These trains are packed at night. And there should be more frequent service. They do it on the weekends. I don't know how they can't do it during the week. I mean, that's the part that just doesn't make sense. We have half-hour service on the weekends, but we don't have it at night.
Absolutely. And you think of things over the next couple of days, just email to me, because we're trying to get this out for next week or so.
One thing just on service, I'll just throw into the mix, because since I'm traveling on these late trains now. Trains coming from Penn going out east, stopping at Woodside on the day of the Met game. 10-car train, 2 cars are closed, 4 cars are closed. Why?
Mr. Nowakowski has a response to that question in his,
Was it in there? Did I
his
miss
letter.
that?
Yeah.
I
In his
missed that one.
policy response,
I must have missed that one.
yeah.
But it's just, I've been on 10, 12-car trains going at Woodside at 11 o'clock at night when a Met game's let out. That platform is jammed. Agreed, maybe most of them are only going as far as Jamaica, but the train is jammed and they've got 2 or 4 cars closed. And I think that's absurd. There was almost a riot last week when that happened. That people tried to force their way into the car and they almost broke the door down. I mean, I was watching these kids who were partially drunk. I'm sure that helped the thing. They were smashing the wall to the next cars because they couldn't move in the car.
Have you looked at the response letter that came out to us on the council?
Yeah, I saw it earlier today.
Well, I know it's not next, but let's talk about it. Because let me just show you an example. I got so many things to cancel
What?
on scheduling. Just the response, you run Concomo branch. You see it? You have it there? Where it says here, the train arrived in Jamaica at 7:04 a.m. Does have a connection to 7:09 train, and they're not side by side, but we're giving you 5 minutes to cross over. So when it's 5 minutes and 59 seconds late, what happens then? And you miss your connection. Which is what we talked about. You're not taking into account what really happens to people's commute. So you're saying we're giving them 5 minutes to go over there. We're not telling you, if it's 5, it's not even late. It's still on time, as far as we're concerned. So this is what people complain about, missing these connections. This is what they're saying. And the answer is, well, we give you 5 minutes. And in response to people complaining that that's not good enough because they're missing the connections. So that's not really an answer. You know what I'm saying? That's telling us nothing. so it's.
Can I just make an overall comment about this letter?
You can make it, I'm sure my
Okay.
stuff is gonna come out, but.
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought it's quite appalling that it took 4 months for a response to be given. Okay?
Well, good, they say they didn't get the first letter, they resent it, so that was part of it,
So I have
right?
a March 23rd date here on
Yes,
this.
that's what we sent them, they said they
Okay,
didn't get it.
all right, that's for starters, but I also found a lot of this, well, here's the policy, as opposed to, we identified a problem, and here's what we're gonna do to address that problem. Because policies are meaningless if policies are not followed, which we've had these conversations over and over again. And so, you know, I don't know who prepared this letter from Mr. Nolenhouse, but I felt it patronizing at points, to a degree of almost insult. Like that, this is not the way to address, you know, some serious, you know, customers for, you know, so it's customer complaints as well as things that we're doing. So, you know, here's the closed off train response. Train crews are permitted to keep doors closed to the public during specified time periods.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Train crews are required to open ports if needed to accommodate. Train managers complete inspections. All employees in violation are handled through a disciplinary process. That's policy. That's not a response.
Now, when those
to
trains that
what
I'm talking about, when I leave here at
he's
11 o'clock at
saying.
night, train is,
But let's stick to what's, let's stick what's,
I'm sorry.
so here's small things and there are big things.
Yeah.
So if I can just give you a couple examples of what I was upset. Small things, Port Washington branch complains that the branch line manager is not posted. That's a small thing. It wasn't addressed. Why can't it be? We hear you, we're gonna put it up. It was ignored.
We haven't had a branch line manager
I know.
in Cold Spring Harbor for
That's,
years.
that's my point. So I'm saying, but here's another branch. This is not from us. This is from riders that are saying. So why couldn't it have been, we'll take care of that? And wherever else it is
If
not,
we
we'll put
said
it up.
it should be, we'll take care of it.
Just say, put it up here. Anywhere else it's not put up, we're gonna put it up. There's nothing here saying, we hear you, we're gonna fix it. Nothing. We're talking about here that in Port Rockaway, the PA system is not audible. Nothing. It doesn't say anything in it. There's no response saying, we're gonna take a look at it, we're gonna fix it. That's, so.
That was exactly my reaction.
These are from
to this.
riders directly. This isn't from us sitting
Yeah.
there being picky. This was a day that, I mean, and this really was specific lists of stuff that are here. This whole thing about the existing station building is closed. And again, no coffee newsstand, same thing as like I'm telling you about Whitehedge, same thing, that's in Hempstead. It's a problem. You gotta put something temporary up. You gotta, but you ignored it. There was no response to that. These things that can be fixed were ignored in response. And it's very upsetting because we took the time to have a meet the council, listen to people who came to us and complained, formulate a letter, and you guys just basically threw it back, this is what the procedure is, and we ignore the stuff that we can fix. Now that I reacted to emails, want to say something?
I think you covered it.
No, I know. I mean, you could pick apart pretty much every section of this as non-responsive to what, you know, and these were pretty general things that people laid out. I mean, you could get a lot more details in this if you were engaged in it, but that was, I mean, I read this last night, and that was my reaction. It's like, I don't need to hear your policy. What I need to hear is that your policy is being enforced. And I don't, and I'm, you know, long have dreaded being, you know, that we're supposed to be the eyes and ears of, like, you know, disciplinary action for the railroad. You know, I've rejected that for a long time. It's like, do your jobs. So that, you know, we don't have this. But, you know, this, like, it's that as simple as the station manager thing. You know, it's ignored. No, it's ignored. So who's responsible? You know, I'm beginning to be like, oh,
So what is,
Who's
so really, so
responsible?
I'm
Who
asking
we
you,
hold
I'm
accountable?
asking you on the record, with the camera, with all of us here, what is the next step? Should we then, we have to go out and have a press conference and complain about this? Are you guys gonna go back and go through this letter again and work with us on trying to come up with solutions? I'm tired of it. I'm tired of sending a letter, I get it 3 months later, and it's just a response saying, you know, we don't
Here's
really
the
care what you say.
policy.
We don't care what you guys say, you know, you're only riders.
Oh, and by the way, tickets aren't being collected again. We're back to that.
And the public beat us up pretty good out there too.
So, I'm asking, what are we doing?
No, we'll
Is it something we're gonna work on, or is it just, this is what we have, and we should go from there?
No,
take
we'll
it
go
or-
back and work on this.
If you want to sit down and meet with any of us, I'm sure we want to have to go through with you. You know, but again, we really tried to not take the stuff that we've already complained about to you on our own, but take stuff that was from people and let you know what they were saying. And I'm sure if you reread the letter, of what we've just said, I think you'll come with the same. Jerry, you want to say anything? 'Cause
No, you're pretty well hitting the highlights.
The only thing I would add to that, even though I'm a movie, but, please don't be long about your response.
Don't be what?
Don't be long about your response. Between March and July, please.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's really, it's
and we
disrespectful.
had asked 4 times for a response.
Yeah, but I mean, it's all a part of the pattern now of like non-response.
Because
To
you know what,
everything.
I'll tell you what, it's
I mean, we
not
just keep bringing
it's
stuff
not
up
just
and
us.
nothing is happening.
It isn't just us, but the riders who made those complaints at the council, who came to us and made the complaints, feel like, well, why should I do that? Nothing was done. We need to get back to them, let them know what those to your attention and what you're going to do about it. And I can't do that 7 months later. They're not going to care. So you're defeating what we can do, and we can no longer accept that because we're getting the angry emails. And we're asking people to run their time, stop at their trip for the other trains, fill out these things, talk to us, and then it goes into the Netherlands as far as they're concerned.
Yeah, but you know, Hector, if I asked you to come up with 10 things you've done to respond to the issues that have been raised over the last 3 years, I mean, I think you'd be hard pressed to say this is what we did in response, because we're getting snowed over and over again, and it's you know, this is it's not okay, and there's been a deterioration of the relationship, you know, in terms of
We
the
know what's happening in the
responsiveness.
office, we get it, but we need to, if it's a staffing issue, I've asked, who want us to be involved and help, and keep saying, no, if that's the case, we have to step in and help. You need more people. You've had injuries, you've had, you know, you've had problems, you know, we get it. And we're fully supportive of you being full staff. But at the point, we're now being disserviced because of it. And we can't sit back and say, we understand anymore. Because you don't understand how many emails I get from people all day long from riders. I don't know how they get my email.
Once they get it,
I don't know, those
you're
just
The
forwarded them to me
announcements, the
instead.
announcements. Mark Epstein from the community council, watch your step getting on the train.
Yeah.
But if you fall, hold.
That's a good ad.
And
it's free?
After.
Okay, yeah, repeat that to you. The new fair payment update, that's what we talked about. So when is it going to be implemented throughout the system, you say at this point?
You know, the governor announced that, I think it was at the end of the summer.
End of the
Yeah,
summer.
well, that's his announcement. Do you guys know when it's actually going to happen?
I don't know when it is, I mean, I can find out for you.
Well, summer's a tough time.
There's not much summer left, we gotta
Yeah,
roll it out.
yeah.
You know what, I think if there was, you would certainly know if it was been a disaster, right? It hasn't been.
The only thing I've heard from riders is they wanna know why they can't have mail and ride with it. They have the new app with a mail and ride system. It's the only comment I've heard.
So you could,
Seems to be working pretty well though.
so you could buy a weekly on it, right?
I really don't know the details. I mean, I haven't been really directly involved with that.
Well, I guess you weren't back, that's why we had on here. I'd like to know what you can purchase on it. You know, mail and riders won't use it. So who else is it for? Is it just for the one-time person that's coming out for one trip? What's about on it? What can you use it for?
Trying to get people away from the machine.
If it's just people
cold.
Well, I mean, you know, you look at the millennials, this is the way they roll, you know, with their technology, you know, all tickets are done that way. And they're actually, you know, they're the ones I've heard the most from of why don't you have,
Right.
you know, digital
If they're mail
ticketing, so.
providers, they're not gonna use this. They're both, they're not gonna use it. Because you lose the discount. They can get the other way.
Amtrak
What
is,
discount?
Discount when you buy your Metro and your Verizon and your Melvin, you get a discount.
2%.
2%.
You lose that if you have to buy them separately.
Right, which you're gonna have to do because
Right,
you
so
can't do
they're
it.
not gonna do it, so then who's it geared towards? I know what's on there.
I think it's probably your dailies, you know, under the age of
I don't know.
40.
I don't know. No, I'm saying.
Amtrak has been using
Oh, yeah.
this type of ticketing system-wide
Yeah.
for all classes of service for years.
Yeah.
New Jersey Transit is doing it now.
Right, but they're not a combination with a different division, so to speak.
Yeah, but, you know, we're not talking invention of whole new technology here.
No, we know that, but
Well,
what
they're
we're
using-
saying is that because we have so many different classes of tickets, okay, so for example, you've got monthlies, weeklies, 10 punches, singles, round trips.
Deep
Different.
off.
It's a different QR code, that's it.
Yeah, it's just,
On the screen,
they just
it's
have
no
a,
big deal.
just have a QR code that matches up to,
Yeah.
you know, a specific ticket. In fact, it has a specific ID to it.
But it
Yeah,
can
but
take
you
them
know what, there's
years
been no
to-
explanation and no advance to people. For example, for the last 3 months, have been heavy on 10 punches and weeklies because, you know, my schedule's been disrupted. So on a 10 punch, is it ticking it down? See, I don't know.
All I'm saying
I
is
know
that
single
this-
ride.
this-
I'm
this is a-
I'm on
this-
Amtrak every
This is a
2
really
months.
simple engineering issue. To
Right,
have a
that-
different.
It's
Just
not
so you
about
know-
it
just
being
so
that,
I
Michael. It's
agree
about
with you.
what
Problem is,
people
for the
can
last
do
6
and
years,
not
they
do.
couldn't do it.
No.
So until the governor said do it within a month, it
Yeah.
got done. We've been hearing all along they couldn't do it, they couldn't do it.
You know, it's always easier to say no than to say yes.
So that's what before you roll it out to everybody, I think people need to know what it really entails.
Or what you
So
can
just
use
one day
it.
it's out there.
Yeah.
It's end of August, it's August already,
Yeah.
just no one really knows what that means.
I mean, can you buy? Oh, you don't know anything about it. You don't even know.
Well, good, come up.
So we haven't
They
seen a
don't know.
demonstration of it.
Well, we have to.
We had a demo
Yeah,
a
we
long
did.
time
no,
ago.
no, he came in and talked about it, he didn't do a demo.
Right, because they, at that
It
point,
wasn't-
Right,
weren't-
they didn't have anything working.
That was-
they
yeah,
weren't
right,
under,
you're
they
right.
weren't under pressure of the government yet to do it, it was just something that was gonna be done.
Maybe that would be something to put on the September agenda.
Yeah, well,
Actually, that would be-
we had kind of talked about, we wanted to do it this time, but he was away, we wanted to do it this time.
How dare you? How dare you take the picture?
What was the customer thing?
I'll see if I can't get my friend to come in and do
You know,
feedback.
just,
Yeah.
what we wanted to do about it.
You know?
It's just
I'll
not-
get it
it's
from
just
my
not a
kids,
very good
because
process.
they're the biggest
And,
Rikers on
you know,
the
do we want to move forward on that and see, make some
I said, at
recommendations?
the last couple of meetings, we mentioned the fact that we thought that the customer complaint process on the, online is just too difficult, too many steps for riders who want to complain. Is it something that you guys can look at and come up with, or do we have to go through and make recommendations? We talked about in the past, it's too many steps. It should be click on, boom, do, you should get right into it and do it. You gotta go to one screen, to another screen, another screen. So it's discouraging, obviously, if people want to complain. We talked about it's under our old business. Is that something that you've taken back or can take back and come back to us with, or do we have to meet and come up with 10 suggestions? Can you guys just do what you're supposed to do?
I know, because this is like 2-3 years ago, we were talking with Joe about putting it on the app. Right before the app came out, I think it was like a bad time that I would have. So I'll go back with that.
Okay, you said access, the tour is set for when?
23rd of August. Anybody who's not on it now is not gonna be on it, unfortunately, because they have to have 2 weeks to do their vetting.
Those do it.
But, we can do it, yeah, we can do it another time.
The fact that we're here at the appointment of the governor and it doesn't qualify.
Nope. Unless you're an employee, that's their rules.
What are they vetting?
We're gonna do a.
Doing a background check on you before you go down?
Yeah, they run your license, seriously, they run your license, they run you through the, you know.
And what disqualifies you?
felony.
some former, there's at least one situation where prior conduct disqualified a member from going on
I
board.
think our members should have been told that
Not-
prior
not-
to
not-
signing up for this, that they were having background checks done on them in order to go do this. I'm serious.
Well, last time we went on, we went on to have.
Oh,
that
yeah.
done.
Right, but I mean, this is the
Yeah.
first I've heard of this.
I'm sure it's a security issue.
Yeah.
It was an issue to it 3 years ago, maybe. Before that,
Yeah, I mean, I remember, I mean, I've rejected 5 invitations
No,
to go down into this
that's the
tunnel.
one was when.
Uh,
I didn't get my
It's been a while,
driver's
it's,
license
yeah,
then.
it's been,
3 years ago, we had it was a background check, they had to give a driver's license. Most of the transit.
One thing to give a driver's
using
license,
towards-
it's another to have a full
Well,
background
they
check
use that to
done
do the
on you. And
background.
I'd like to know what terms of, you know, no, you're not allowed to go down are. And I think that the members should
That's-
be informed.
I mean, that's at the discretion of MTA police and MTA security. I know of one situation where prior conduct
What
disqualified
does that
somebody from
mean?
going. They acted up and they were afraid they would have to drag them, if they acted up down, when they were downstairs, they would have to drag them,
Like a PCAC member?
yes.
Well, they shouldn't be able to be
Acted up.
if it's security.
In another context, yeah. Not as a member, but.
No,
You're not-
Please don't.
We're too big, yeah.
You do?
No,
I don't want to confirm it, but there has been a situation.
How the hell did you get on this council? You can use a few more spells.
20 years ago.
Meet the council. We're gonna do one in now that we have a event, we're doing one in Brooklyn. I hope that, I know it's not easy for anyone who doesn't go to Brooklyn, but I really would like to ask everyone to come, and we really want to discuss the issues that are coming up with the Jamaica changes, that affect Brooklyn riders, and we need to let Brooklyn commuters know that that's coming up. We have done it in the paper, the press stuff, I think directly with them will be, that's been talked about for a while now.
We have a date?
Well, I'm gonna set up, and I'd like to get feedback that people at least be interested in going.
Sure.
You can come by for a little while,
Yeah,
we need to have
and
some.
I can get Borough Hall to help publicize it. That's what we want.
Yeah, they usually get a train time, they announce it, but yeah, whatever you get, we do it. I think it's something, maybe early October. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's probably good.
Yeah.
You don't want to, not too close to the election,
Why?
because there's all kinds of crap going on, you know.
Early-
I mean,
early October.
it's
Early October's
a
fine.
state election too, so you got.
Early October is fine, not the end of the election. It's a one-day thing. Okay, anybody else have anything else?
Yeah, you should probably at some point think about Hunter's Point too, because that has, ridership is up going there.
You want to hear the complaints of it. You want to hear complaints, Hunter's Point's a good place to go hear them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, that's the redheaded stepchild of the Long Island Railroad.
Yeah.
Hector, is there a final policy of how they're gonna be doing this scoot and all this stuff? Did I miss it in the documentation? Is there a final, this is how we're gonna handle east side access, this is how we're gonna handle trains to Penn? Does that
No.
document exist?
They don't even know where they're putting the trains yet for East Side Access.
Right, I was just wondering if they knew how they're gonna handle all this additional stuff.
Building draft over there.
22 is the official date. Nobody, I won't say nobody believes it.
21, 22?
A lot. Yeah, could be. A lot of people don't believe it, or say 23, 24.
The issue that we sent the press release out on, I think will probably be a newspaper tomorrow.
Okay, great.
I don't know if I don't think that they're that responded as of early today.
That was good. I thought you did a good,
Yeah.
that was a good topic to put something out on.
But it's where we're being faced now, after where we don't get responses for a while, to go directly there instead of doing it informally. And I hope that we can change that, but right now that's not what I'm feeling. It's the release.
You've been very restrained. I said you've been very restrained. Jerry and I would have handled it. Oh my God!
I'm not problem that they have in it.
Yeah.
Jerry and I were both former chairs. Everything got played
If
out.
we need to go to the government, ask you guys to get more stamp, and that's, we'd be more than happy to take you on. It only helps us and others.
Speaking about staff, what's the story with the Mineola office?
What is the story?
Fine.
I'll get up.
So
So right now, that office is just locked up and dust collecting, there's no
Yeah,
activity.
unless somebody wants to go out there and meet people, I can't. Give that time too, it's not anything else I'm doing.
No, I'm not saying you, but I mean, if you had members that were willing to participate, we could operate out of that
So we
office.
work out a
That's
schedule,
all.
we could, person, they have
But what
to-
is the status of a staff person?
We'll go through, we asked for it, requested it, it did not get approved. We'll go
By
through
whom?
new needs process again this year and ask for it again.
Who didn't approve it?
MTA budget,
But who's the individual?
well, I mean, probably, I don't know, there's a committee that actually does the new needs.
And did you present in front of that committee?
We presented to two people in MTA budget, and they were, one of them was a member of the committee. That's not the process. The process is not to have people come in and make presentations. The process is to submit something in writing.
Well, was there something wrong with what you submitted?
No, it wasn't approved. I mean, it's not that there's something wrong, but there's a lot of requests for new things.
Initially, I wasn't at the meeting, I didn't know about it, it wasn't there, but from my understanding is, part of the issue was, if we get one, then Metro North needs to also have an expenditure for staff, even though they don't have an office. I find that garbage. If they want to put expenditure in, they're not using it anyway, because they don't have an office, they're not gonna use it, but that is one of the issues that they.
That's something that's been raised with us.
I'm not worried about that. My understanding, the newest issue now is, if we have somebody there, they're there and they're not supervised, because they're by themselves. And they want to know now, how will they be supervised? So my position is, let them say they work in the city every day, and you just send them out to around to work. Because they're supervised under you as a city employee, that's going to be my response to them.
I mean, aren't we hiring a grown-up? We don't have to supervise Bradley.
But he's technically in the city office.
He's in-
Right,
he's in
but I
the
mean,
office.
if someone like
I don't think
Bradley
that's a-
was out there, someone's
I
telling me
understand.
he needs
I'm
supervision.
just telling you what I recently found out, that that's the objection, so you're gonna
I
respond.
think that's been some of
You're
the
gonna
things
respond saying,
That's pretty late.
that come back.
so, it's being worked on, because not satisfied with the way it's going.
Okay.
But anyone who does wanna use it, just work through Bill as far as make
Yeah,
sure that gets locked up, because we're,
Oh, yeah.
responsible.
Yeah,
We release and we're responsible for it.
yeah, we have to.
Plus the sheriff's a nice office.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Ray.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, and you all did a lot of work to get it. And it was,
It's not like we had the political might supporting getting the staff and whatever budget was gonna be required at that grand opening. It's not like we had politicians behind us.
They got a little embarrassed by the
That's
press.
right, that's
The
right.
press, not by us, but the press, not by us.
I'm going.
Yeah, I gotta run too.
Anything else that
Anybody
you
want to
need?
move to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
All right, so we're gonna do a September meeting. Think about,
Second
think
report.
about, think about the op-eds,
And,
ideas.
October,